10 fascinating facts about Spain's history that no one talks about. When people think of Spain, they usually picture flamenco, fiestas, football, and food. And hey, those things are great, don't get me wrong, but today we're going even deeper. I've lived in Spain for 20 years, and I can tell you right now that this country's history is one of the most fascinating, misunderstood, and unbelievable on the planet. Spain didn't just influence world history, it rewrote it. So buckle up, people, because today I'm sharing with you 10 incredible historical facts about Spain that many people, including some history lovers, have never heard before. Number 1. Spain was a Muslim powerhouse for 700 years. From 711 to 1492, a huge part of Spain was under Muslim rule. And it wasn't just tolerated, it flourished. They had libraries, they had medicine, they had astronomy, they had architecture. It was thriving while much of Europe was still figuring out soap. Córdoba had streetlights, public baths, and over 70 libraries, while Paris had like one maybe? In the 10th century, Córdoba's libraries had over 400,000 volumes. That's more than most of Europe combined. Spain was the first global empire. In the 1500s, Spain ruled more than 1/5 of the planet. The Americas, the Philippines, huge chunks of Europe, all flying the Spanish flag. Madrid wasn't just running Spain, it was running the world, and they did it all without email. Wild, isn't it? Anecdote time, they named the Philippines after King Philip II, and they governed it from Mexico City. Empire by proxy. Let that sink in. A king made Spanish the language of science. King Alfonso X, El Sabio, or the Wise, basically turned the Spanish language into the Google Translate of the 13th century. He brought Christian, Muslim, and Jewish scholars together to translate all of the knowledge of the known world into Castilian Spanish. This guy didn't just rule a kingdom, he curated a knowledge base. He once said, "If God had asked me, I would have designed a simpler universe." That's humble. Guerrilla warfare was invented here. In 1808, Napoleon thought he could just walk through Spain and attack Portugal. Big mistake. The locals rose up with ambushes, traps, and improvised weapons. This was the birth of guerrilla warfare, literally. Guerrilla means little war, and it was very effective. Anecdote time, Agustina de Aragon, a civilian woman, famously took over a cannon and helped defend Zaragoza when everyone else had fallen. She became a national legend, a tough woman to say the least. The Spanish Inquisition was a bureaucratic nightmare. Yes, the Inquisition was real, and yes, it was terrifying. But no, it wasn't random. It was an organized machine of interrogations, files, witnesses, and court procedures. It was less torture dungeon and more Department of Heretical Affairs. Still terrifying, but with a lot of paperwork. Anecdote time, inquisitors once tried to prove someone was guilty based on how they folded their laundry. You just can't make this stuff up, can you? The Sagrada Familia, 140 years and still going. The construction of Barcelona's most famous cathedral started in 1882, and it still isn't done? Gaudí died in 1922, and the building? What, 70–80% finished? But hey, no rush. When asked why it was taking so long, Gaudí famously said, "My client is not in a hurry." His client was God. Fun fact, modern technologies like 3D modeling and laser carving are finally speeding things up. So we might actually see it finished by the 2030s. Hey, just around the corner. Spain minted the first global currency. In 1535, Spain started minting the piece of 8 in Mexico City. It became the first global currency, used everywhere from Boston to Beijing. Pirates loved it, merchants trusted it. Even the United States used it as legal tender until the 1850s. Anecdote time, Chinese merchants tested these coins by carving little chop marks into them. You can still find real coins with these slashes. Lope de Vega wrote more than Shakespeare by a lot. Lope de Vega wrote over 1,800 plays. That's right, one guy, while Shakespeare was writing, what, 37? He was like the Netflix algorithm for the Spanish Golden Age, just cranking out the hits. Anecdote time, he even wrote a sonnet that explains how to write a sonnet in sonnet form. My goodness, that's so meta, it hurts. Spain once ruled the Netherlands and half of Italy. Thanks to dynastic marriages and the Habsburgs, Spain ruled Belgium, the Netherlands, Naples, Sicily, Milan, and more. That's why 16th century Flemish paintings often show people dressed like Spanish nobles. Anecdote time, Spanish troops in the north took their own jamón and wine. Culture shock? More like culture snack. Don Quixote, the first modern novel. Don Quixote, published in 1605 by Miguel de Cervantes, is widely considered to be the world's first modern novel. It broke all the rules. It was self-aware, emotional, funny, tragic. The story basically details the life of a Spanish man who seems to be losing his mind on a quest to become a knight, and he's accompanied by a farmer called Sancho Panza. Anecdote time, Cervantes was a war veteran, a pirate hostage, and a broke writer. When he died, Shakespeare died on the same day, April 23rd, 1616. That's epic timing, wouldn't you say? And speaking of Cervantes' Don Quixote, how much do you really know about it? It's not just a dusty old book, it's Spain's national novel, and as mentioned before, arguably the world's first modern novel. It's absolutely wild. Don Quixote follows a delusional old man from La Mancha called Alonso Quijano, who becomes obsessed with tales of knights and decides to become one himself. He puts on old rusty armor and renames himself Don Quixote and rides out to defend justice and honor, although chivalry is already long dead. He sees windmills as giants, inns as castles, and prostitutes as noblewomen. And along the way, he ropes in a local farmer, Sancho Panza, as his squire, promising him imaginary islands to govern. At first, it's hilarious, but then becomes tragic, because while Don Quixote keeps trying to fix a broken world, the world mostly laughs at him. Over time, Sancho starts to believe in the dream too, but by the end, spoiler alert, Don Quixote returns home, realizes the truth, and dies a broken man. Sane, but defeated. It's not just a novel, it's a meditation on dreams, delusion, hopes, and the soul of Spain. So next time you see a windmill, remember, in Spain, even the absurd has a story. And that's what makes its history so unforgettable. And here's the crazy part. Miguel de Cervantes wrote most of Don Quixote while he was in prison. He'd been a soldier, captured by pirates, and spent 5 years as a slave in Algiers before returning to Spain, only to end up in jail over unpaid debts. So when he wrote about a man who dreams of changing the world but is constantly beaten down by it, he wasn't just making it up. He lived it. That's the part that makes the novel so powerful. It's hilarious, but there's pain underneath. So Spain wasn't just a tourist destination with good food and late dinners. It was a cultural superpower, a scientific innovator, and a literary trailblazer. And let's be honest, a little bit chaotic in the best way possible. From Muslim philosophers and pirate money to unstoppable playwrights and a cathedral that refuses to be finished, Spain has done it all and left its fingerprints all over the world. So now, I want to hear from you. Which of these incredible historical facts blew your mind the most? Or did I leave out a particularly juicy one that should have made the list? I want to hear about it. Leave it in the comment section below. I read them all. If you learned something new, smash that like button so this video reaches more curious minds just like yours. Please subscribe if you want more surprising truths about Spain and its culture, and don't forget to ring that little bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out one of these other very interesting videos above. I'm your friendly neighborhood MadridMan saying ciao for now, hasta la próxima, and keep fighting those windmills.